We can go? Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to FIDA Kenya. My name is Annie Reri. I'm the Executive Director of FIDA, and we have invited you here to give our official statement at the unfortunate incidents that happened yesterday, and I will proceed to read our statement as FIDA, and thereafter I'll welcome any questions that you may have. Thank you. So FIDA Kenya is appalled by the continued violation and non-adherence of human rights laws in Kenya. Despite the articulation of these laws in the Constitution of Kenya 2010, as well as international treaties ratified by Kenya, select members of the National Police Service in Kenya continue to conduct themselves contrary to these provisions. We are especially dismayed by the level of brutality and violence by members of the National Police Service in Kenya towards women. Going by videos circulated on social media and those aired on mainstream media, the physical assault meted out on the member County of Assembly MCA from Lango Kubwa, Ms. Mudeu Musimi, on Tuesday, 28 July 2020 is simply unacceptable. At a time when globally, uprising against excessive use of force by unarmed civilians by the police is a reality in Kenya, we cannot perpetuate this within our borders. It is not lost on us that not too long ago, members of the National Police Service in Kenya violently attacked a young unarmed woman in Nakuru County, brutally injuring her. In a statement released by IPOA, that's the Independent Police Oversight Authority, on the 27th of July 2020, it reads in part that whenever law enforcers apply force in quelling situations, they shall always ensure it is proportionate in accordance with the law, and any excessive use of it is condemned and attracts stiff penalties. According to the video footage that we have analyzed, Ms. Musimi was neither armed, nor was there action on her part to denote non-compliance with the officers. There is therefore simply no justification for the degree of force on the Honorable Member of County Assembly as was displayed. Kenyans, you will recall that we all saw Ms. Musimi being brutally beaten, slapped, hit with rungus, and even being thrown on the ground for all of us to see. This we cannot entertain in Kenya. This is therefore a clear case of misuse of force and power by select members of the National Police Service. While we as FIDA Kenya acknowledge the role and the mandate of the National Police Service as articulated under Articles 244, 245 of the Constitution of Kenya within the maintenance of law and order, it is clear that what we witnessed yesterday is vile and inhumane and goes against the very tenets of preservation of law and order. Not to mention that it was targeting women and a woman who was attending lawful duties at her place of work. We therefore, as FIDA Kenya, call upon the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Hilary Mutyambai, to immediately commence internal actions against the officers who are caught on camera carrying out these barbaric actions against Honorable Mudeu Musimi. Further, we call upon the Independent Police Oversight Authority, as well as the Directorate for Criminal Investigation, to immediately speed up investigation, ensure these perpetrators are arrested and arraigned in court for all to see, and to take stern actions for everyone who witnessed the case to see. We further reiterate that as FIDA Kenya, we are pursuing several options. At the immediate, there is a physical injury that was inflicted on Ms. Musimi, but further, as a premier women's rights institution that caters and ensures the safeguarding of women's rights in Kenya, we are particularly concerned that what we witnessed were actions against women who are carrying out lawful duties at their place of work. This cannot go unaccounted for. We cannot have it go unabated. We shall therefore be commencing specific legal procedures to ensure that we safeguard women's spaces of work and to ensure that women in Kenya are comfortable to go to whatever place of work they earn a living from without fear of intimidation, harassment, or threats from anyone in Kenya, leave alone any member of the National Police Service in Kenya. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, all of you. Today we are really dismayed, and as Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, we have a statement on the heinous act of gender-based violence and assault towards Honorable Patricia Mutheu, MCA Mlango Kubwa Ward, Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi, 29th July 2020. The Kenya Parliamentary Women Association, KEWOPA, joins key stakeholders and societies at large to condemn the gender-based violence and especially the GBV, and especially the increasing incidences of the violence against women and girls in public and private spheres amid the COVID-19 crisis. KEWOPA strongly condemns the recent violence that happened against one Patricia Mutheu of Mlango Kubwa Ward and other female MCAs who were attacked by police officers at their place of work, Nairobi County Hall. The female legislators were mishandled, assaulted, beaten within the precincts of the Nairobi County Assembly. We also condemned the recent gender-based violence against the female MCA of Kisii County. We condemn the assaults in strongest terms possible. What happened to making rightful prosecutions? No matter what Mutheu and other MCAs did, such kind of brutality and barbarism was unwarranted. Such kind of officers should be ones being prosecuted, and important deterrent that must be reinforced. It is quite wanting that 10 years after the promulgation of the Constitution, the police do not understand their mandate and still act as the police force instead of police service. KEWOPA urges all stakeholders to strengthen efforts towards the prevention of violence against women and protection of girls and women in accordance with the Protection Act Against Domestic Violence Act of 2015 and related policies. This is sickening, nauseating, stomach churning. We wish quick recovery to Honorable Mutheu, who is still in hospital recuperating, and also as KEWOPA members, we wish to say that we are going to take action against the police if the Inspector General does not commence immediately.
On what happened, I think the Inspector General Mutambai must take full responsibility of what happened, because by now we'd be expecting that those officers should actually be in court, because what they did was not only barbaric and primitive, but it's also a criminal offense. They should have been arrested by now. We know that those officers are identifiable and they are known to the Inspector General. They are also known and identifiable to the Police Oversight Authority, who should have taken action. Many times, and many of you in the media know that you have footage, tons and tons of footage in your offices of police brutally assaulting members of the public. Yet, we have not once have we heard that Inspector General has asked for that footage in order to be able to discipline those officers that have done that. So he has condoned it, and if he does not take action, it is him that we shall hold responsible. First, also we need to find out who was the deploying officer. Who was the officer who deployed police to go into the county assembly? Because for the county assembly, I'm told, for the county assembly to conduct any business, the police are in it preventing MCAs from going into the assembly, and also from preventing them from entering even the precincts to even go and pick their mail. So obviously what has happened is that Nairobi County has been turned into a police state, and this is unacceptable, and we are not only complaining about the assault on Ms. Patricia Mutheu, but also on the fact that it has been condoned by the highest authorities in this land. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Honorable Doris Canario. I'm the chairperson of the Women Caucus of the Nairobi County Assembly. I can say this is a dark day for women, and I want to tell Madam Elachi, women's rights are human rights. We are perturbed as members of the County Assembly of Nairobi because we are terribly brutalized by the police, and she don't know dialogue. What she knows is to call the police on us to brutalize us. Elachi doesn't respect court orders, yet she sits on that seat courtesy of a court order which was served to Nairobi County Assembly, yet she cannot honor other people's court orders. Madam Elachi feels Nairobi County Assembly belongs to her. She treats that county assembly as her home. When she feels it should be shut, it's shut. When she feels it should be open, it's open. We cannot continue with this. We are members of that county assembly. We are elected there by our parties to represent, to oversight, and to legislate. I don't see why she should control us to that extent. Madam Elachi doesn't listen to anyone. If you don't go her way, she calls the police, who comes jumping all over county assembly walls. Yesterday we had so many women leaders in the assembly of Nairobi, Iji and Burnley. To an extent, I understand one of them has since miscarriage. Where are we in this day and time? We don't want to be taken by anyone to dark ages in this country. We are not ready for that. It's very unfortunate. Even after all that incident yesterday, I want to address the media and this country. She went ahead again to shut the County Assembly of Nairobi. Who is Elachi? Who is behind this? She comes with threats. We are not able to work in the County Assembly of Nairobi because of the threats she imposes to us day in, day out. And media's people, you can bear me witness, you can go back to the clips you took yesterday. A voice is heard from our office, a human voice saying, shoot them, kill them. Who is this person? She brags to us. She'll be the speaker if we want it or not. And she even brags to us that there's no way we can take her. Who is this Elachi? Whose instruction is she serving us at the County Assembly of Nairobi? We are perturbed. We need, I urge our party to come in through for us because we are being treated abnormally. Things are very unusual in the County Assembly of Nairobi. And she has also gone to some extent sometimes to tell us she gets the powers from the Ministry of Interior. Who is this person in the Ministry of Interior? She's getting, because I'm telling you, if you watch the clips of the things that happened yesterday, you can bear me witness. That is not just instructions, but I'm urging our Jubilee Party, where we are served and we are loyal members, to come through for us. Madam Elachi is going way too far from the mandate that you appointed her to serve in the County Assembly of Nairobi. Thank you very much.
What we are talking about here is police brutality. Yes? So, we are not talking about the police enforcing the law. That they are allowed to do. But when they use excessive force beyond that which they can do, and it is not commensurate with the threat that was facing them, then that is a criminal offense. That's what we're talking about. So Matiang'i should respond to us.
As an MCA in regards to that.
Sorry?
I'm saying, I was asking in regards to what Matiang'i has talked about the county assembly becoming a war zone.
Yes, when he says the only reason why the county assembly has become a war zone is because of police brutality. I haven't seen the MCAs clobbering anybody with rungus. I have seen the police clobbering people with rungus, and I've seen a police officer kicking a woman on the ground. That is what we are talking about. So if he thinks it's a war zone, he should be telling us as the Minister of Interior why the police are being deployed to go and try and kill, because that's attempted murder. They attempted to kill the MCAs.
And actually, just to put a right on what she has said, it's very unfortunate because members of the assembly were just going to to present the court orders, which they were not allowed. It was very peaceful, but within no time, because that doesn't go very well with the speaker, the police are called on us. Thank
Let
you.
me add something. So it's very important. Our message not only to the politicians, the political class, or the police in Kenya. As FIDA Kenya, as the premier women's rights institution, this is our message. We are now celebrating a decade into the Constitution of Kenya. It's very clear on citizen rights. It's very clear on how people are to express themselves. Our appeal is very simple. Let us be law-abiding citizens. If there's an issue politically, there are political ways of solving it. But law and order are very clear. When we have officers clobbering a woman to the ground who is lawfully at her place of work, representing citizens of this country, she's not defying any law, that sends a very serious message. Because as FIDA, we are questioning what will happen to Mama Mboga tomorrow. And that's why our appeal is so passionate. To the officers in this country individually, to the Inspector General, we just want clear rules that abide with the law. If you find someone violating the law in this country, it's very clear how you take action on them. But our message as FIDA is what we are witnessing is alarming, because we are going to start a trend where tomorrow, if you find a citizen in conflict with the law, as police officers, you don't allow due process, you actually start beating them there. So that's our message today, that this police brutality has got to stop. We have got to respect the rule of law. We understand politically we are getting into a very charged season, and the more reason we need the Inspector General to speak to the officers that let us have sobriety, let us have the rule of law in this matter, irrespective of your political affiliation, irrespective of what crime you have committed. There are procedures and laws that enforceable, and within which the law-abiding citizens are supposed to be handled.
Because the police cannot take the law into their hands.
Exactly.
Sylvia Museya. I'm a special elect by the Jubilee Party, and actually I'm elected to represent the voices of women under the new constitution. So what we are saying, there are 1,000 things to say about Beatrice Elachi that we will not say today. We are here to speak about police brutality. And the fact is that we are at a very funny stage of our lives, where the people who are meant to protect the law, the people who are supposed to enforce service of orders, are the people who are preventing those orders to be served. We went as 3 people peacefully to serve the orders and the impeachment motion, and that we were denied. A few members came in to ask questions, and after that we had policemen jumping over the fence. You know, that even looks very funny, that a police officer will need to jump over the fence to come and enforce orders. We have a woman leader, which is very unfortunate, and we say as women leaders, being a woman is not a reason to say that she needs protection. We went women in leadership, but we went solid and sound women in leadership. So the issue of Nairobi County, it is very sad that the precincts have been turned into a police station. We have more policemen at any time than members in that assembly. And we are wondering, when, as you insinuated, the CS Matiang'i says that that place has become a war front. It has become a police station. It has not become a war front. We members cannot access chambers. Even right now, as we are speaking, we have GSU officers anticipating us to go maybe to the toilet, and they throw us out. So we're asking CS Matiang'i, because it is his name that is being used by the Speaker, Beatrice Elachi, and it is unfortunate that she's using the name of the President and Baba, and now CS Matiang'i and the Ministry of Interior, to rationalize her reasons why we have policemen. It is a person who is anticipating. And finally, I want to say the case of Patricia Mudeu is not a special case because she's a woman legislator. It is a case of an example that if a woman in that caliber of leadership, before the cameras, can suffer such brutality, then what are we saying about women in the villages or in the slums, and women who cannot access justice and cannot access the press? That is why we are passionately here saying that if this can happen in the precincts of the assembly that is protected by the Powers and Privileges Act before the media, then we are talking about thousands of cases unreported. So we will not let this one go, because if we let this one go that has been captured by the cameras, then what are we saying about the voices of women who cannot even capture evidence of what they are going through? So we ask sincerely and honestly and diligently for the CS Interior, for the entire Ministry of Interior to get off our chambers, for the police to follow the rule of law, for women to be protected, starting from their leaders, because we are the representative of women in this country. And if this is what we are suffering as representative, then we have no idea what the women at Mashinani are suffering. So police brutality must stop, we urge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What I want to ask the members of Fourth Estate, yesterday you were there with your cameras at the county assembly. We saw 4 policemen clobber Miss Patricia Mutheu. Was she armed? She was alone. She was not actually feeling well. But there were 4 men with rungus and brandishing guns. And unfortunately, by the way, after the incidents of Mutheu, in the evening at night, at 8 p.m., I was called by a member of county assembly, a lady, actually she's there, Miss Waithera. There were 15 CID officers who followed her to her car where she had parked outside opposite Trattoria, brandishing guns and knocking and her car, and I think they even broke the windscreen, saying that they are looking for her. And so we are asking, why would you send 15 CID officers to follow Mheshimiwa Waithera? You know, it's happening. All these MCAs are being threatened just because they don't maybe get along with the Nani Elachi, or because they don't they don't sing her whatever. You know, she's using the president's name, she's using Matiang'i's name, and now it's unfortunate that the Ministry of Interior is siding with the speaker to say that the county assembly is a battlefront, and yet the members cannot access the chambers. We've had these differences even in our own chambers in the Senate or in the National Assembly. Do we see the kind of brutality of policemen in the chambers as we are seeing in the county assembly? So what is happening? Is it that the Ministry of Interior cannot do their work anymore? They want to be speakers and governors of Nairobi. So let them just resign and do the politics of Nairobi, or they go and become representative of MCAs in Nairobi if they cannot do their work of protecting the citizens of this country.
Kwa kusema kwamba tunaomba hawa ambao wanafaa kuwa wanalinda mwananchi wawache kuwinda mwananchi. Sisi tunasema kwamba yoyote ambayo ni political imaliziwe katika pale kisiasa. Kama ni yale ambayo yatafanyika ambayo yanatakiwa kupelekwa kotini, kupelekwa katika police stations, hapo basi iwe inaangaliwa police station na kulingana na zile sheria ambazo zimewekwa kufuatilia hiyo mambo. Kwa hivyo tusiende nje ya maneno, ile maneno ambayo zote tuko hapa tunasema na hatuachilii na tunashikilia, ni kwamba polisi lazima walinde wananchi na walinde wale ambao wamewekwa katika ulinzi wao, lakini si kuwawinda wakiwapiga, kwamba mama mpaka saa hii mmoja wao amepoteza mtoto. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni mada tayari ambayo tungependa tuwe tunaona tayari yule askari ako ndani, ametiwa mbaloni, amepelekwa kotini, amekuwa charged na murder na mishandling of his weapons, sababu walikuwa wanapiga na rungu. Pale ni wazi kwamba kila Mkenya ameona zile video ambazo zilichukuliwa wakati MCAs walikuwa wanachapwa. Wengine hapa wako na bandages, wengine wao wamelazwa hospitali, wengine wao wameshindwa kutembea. Nani wamama? Jamani, askari ambaye ana kilo kama 120 anachapa mama ambaye ana kilo 50 ama 40. Kama huyu ako 40 huyu. Yangu ni kusema kama Kenya Women Parliamentary Association hatutaki kusikia tena, na tunataka kusikia hata yule ambaye aliassault ule MCA ambaye ni wa Kisii, tuone amepelekwa mbele ya mahakama na ameshtakiwa na ile mashtaka ambayo inafaa. Tusiende nje ya maneno, sababu ile wale wanapigana huko NMS watajua vile watafanya, MCAs watajua vile wanafanya. Hatujasikia kamwe MCA ambaye kuwa na mwenzake wananyambuana marungu huko ndani ya chambers. Ile tumesikia ni askari wameingia katika mahali kwa kufanyia kazi kwa MCAs. Sawa sawa. Kwa hivyo asanteni sana na Bwana wabariki na tuendelee hivyo hivyo.
Asante sana, na tukimalizia, as FAD we are monitoring. It's important to make the public know that even during this COVID period, since COVID started to date, we are running an active toll-free center, and a lot of the cases that are being reported are violence. This falls in that category, and so we are urging everyone in Kenya. The president has pronounced himself on violence against women. So I don't know why up to now we still have to remind Kenyans about it. Kindly let us restrain ourselves. Let us speak to the spirit of the Constitution by upholding each other's rights. Let's promote the rule of law. If you find a man or a woman who's in conflict with the law, we urge the National Police Service, please abide by your standing orders. Please abide by your service charter. Let the rule of law prevail. Let us not see what we saw yesterday. Certainly, it was one of the darkest days for women in this country. So let us not go back there. In a few days' time, we'll be celebrating 10 years of this constitution. Let us bring it to life. Let us not be the same people who are undermining this constitution. Let us protect women and girls irrespective of their class, their stature, their position in society. Because a society that does not respect women, trust you me, speaks a lot about that society. So thank you very much. And after this, we are going to IPOA. We'll also be going there to launch a complaint. And we've also written to the Inspector General of Police and the DCI as well to make sure this matter is brought to book. So thank you very much, and we will keep you posted. Thank you.